Weldon, Walton, Wellington's well done wedding welding.
Today, Monday, April 25th, 2016, Upholstered Beasts, featuring shoulder voices, or The Problem with Everything. Hey everybody, I'm Holiday Rob. This is...
I am Loki Sapfoot.
And today we have on Little Bobby Tucker, Kevin and Amanda from Shoulder Voices, the band, the legends, the over a decade-long folks who have been doing music in the Albuquerque music scene.
Yeah.
How I know Little Bobby is from Unit 7 Drain, and
I think I was at their last show.
Yeah, it was like they did their 10th year anniversary show. I still have the sticker, and that was the end. That was it. Folks who have been in bands such as I Is for Ida. We actually had one of the drummers, Christian Newman, his wife, Miss Animal, was on the show.
Ah, yes.
And
what was that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
something like that.
Possibly. Was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago. We had our local wrestler on.
Yeah.
Support your local wrestler.
You know what sucks? Last week's show came out the day after the thing he was trying to promote because of our photo debacle.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't point out our failure publicly, but that's what happened.
No, it's fine because it really bugged the shit out of me because I was super excited. I wanted to go to that. I had to work.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's the only reason why things have been kind of slow. If you're an avid fan and listener of the show, which I know hundreds of you are.
At least ones of you are.
There might be a dozen in there somewhere.
Big ups. Bump, bump.
Boop, boop. Yeah. So if you like The Problem with Everything and you want to hear more, we are on iTunes.
Yeah.
You should subscribe. We're having good guests, not great guests. Good guests every week.
Tonight was great.
I thought it was pretty great.
That's the most we've had, at least when I've been here. I know when you had Modus Operandi, there were more people.
Yeah, there was 5 at once.
Yeah.
It was chaos.
So we had the 2 of us plus 3 guests, and I thought there wasn't too much talking over each other. I thought we handled it all right.
Yeah.
Shit went fine. It was a good one.
It was fun.
That Kevin cat is hilarious. Little Bobby is Little Bobby, which is always awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Amanda came in,
even though we didn't give her a microphone because we're misogynists, she still held it down.
Awful people.
Bobby, luckily, had the heart to share his with her.
It was like, share my home with you. I guess we'll share microphones.
Yeah. I make her carry all these stuffed animals and made her learn to play keyboards. I guess I can share a mic.
And she was like, well, just like you only know one note. I'm sorry. We're already referencing things that have happened.
This is meta as fuck.
Yeah.
They will happen.
It's crazy.
For the listener.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We've seen the future, so we know what's going to happen in the upcoming episode you're about to listen to. But yeah, punch in The Problem with Everything. You can press subscribe. You can give us 5 stars because I know you love us that much.
Yeah.
So why even try and act like you don't? We are on the Twitter. I am at Holiday Rob, all one word, HOLIDAYROB.
You'll find me at just at Sapfoot on Twitter.
Sapfoot.
Yeah, just at Sapfoot. Shoulder Voices is on there, at Shoulder Voices. I don't know Little Bobby's, but hopefully I'll figure it out before I post this, and you can find it in the episode notes.
Yeah. Pay close attention. There'll be a test after words. I do play video games. You can catch me on the PSN network, PlayStation Network. I play PS3. I'm playing Dust 514. It's going to get really real this week. I'm going to be really fucking doing this shit. So if you're listening and you have any interest or you just whatever, I might be doing Twitter updates because I'm getting to the point where I'm I think I'm just going to do this an hour a day, post when I do my hour. So if anybody wants to join in or whatever, and maybe just do Twitter updates as I'm
I kind of want to do Twitch, man.
What's Twitch? Tell me about Twitch.
You don't know Twitch?
I know Periscope.
Twitch is people watch you play video games. And you can webcast it. You can put a camera so your little face is up in the corner.
We should just do a segment for that once in a while.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to do it because I could have, my lady friend could be on there. People would watch it just for that.
Right. They'd be like, oh shit, a girl. There's a girl. Right. She has a vagina. Let's watch.
Right. Have her show a little cleave,
She's like, I got to get these snacks.
Right. Oops, I dropped the controller. No, I'm not going to pimp my lady friend out for Twitch fame.
Gross. just for donations. Frankly, if you do want to donate, where can the good people donate?
Well, I don't know. They can find me on Bandcamp, lokisapfoot.bandcamp.com. You can buy my album or get it for free, whatever. There's 2 EPs on there you can get.
And if you're on PayPal, put in my email address, Knockeye, and it's phonetic, KNOCKEYE, at gmail.com. You can donate to this podcast because I would love to get an archive. We're getting like a lot of good local musicians.
Right.
And it would be really cool to be able to like open a Buzzsprout or even Podomatic or just wherever.
Right now we only have enough space to host 4 episodes. So the current 4. We're like trying to watch like whatever network television show on the internet. You know, they only have the most recent 4 episodes.
Yeah.
That's what we're like. But
pretty much.
We'd like to get like, the full thing going.
Although I have been thinking about just archiving shit on my YouTube.
It's not a bad idea.
So we'll have to.
We should just get a YouTube for the show. It's just another thing I'd have to update every week, though. I don't want to do it.
Well, just give me the login and I'll do it. It'll be mine. I'll make that shit happen.
Oh, but the video games. You can find me Loki Sapfoot, just like it's spelt on the podcast with a W in Loki. On the Xbox Live. Is that what it's called? Xbox Live?
Xbox, yeah. Live.
Yeah. I've been playing Rocket League. I've actually been playing the free game, Sunset Overdrive, the free game that they came out with for this month or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. And I've also, I used to have Dark Souls for the 360. So Dark Souls 3 came out. And to keep myself from spending money like a fucking asshole on it, because I have too many games I never finished, it's like, I'm going to play through Dark Souls for the 360 that I never finished.
All right.
So I've been playing that because Xbox has the backwards compatible shit happening now. So I was able to just download Dark Souls because
Listen up, PlayStation.
Awesome. Anyway, dorky video game bullshit aside, you can also find me on the Nintendo one, same username, Loki Sapfoot, but I haven't been doing it these days. Facebook, Problem with Everything on Facebook.
Yep.
Loki Sapfoot's on Facebook.
Yep.
I probably won't even notice if you send me a message. You're not allowed to post on my wall. I don't even know if I'm searchable on there.
You can find me and try and add me, and I'll stalk you for a minute. I'm Holiday Rob. Holiday Rob pretty much everywhere except for SoundCloud. I'm Holiday Rob with two B's.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Our guests, the Shoulder Voices, have a CD. It's not a release. It's the end of their Kickstarter campaign show on May 13th at Sister.
At Sister. Friday, May 13th at Sister.
There probably will be a cover. It'll probably be 21 and over, but you shouldn't even worry about that. It's going to be
awesome.
Because you should go. I mean, even if you're not keen on hanging out at Sister the whole time, there's a lot of good fun places like Anodyne, which is right overhead, which I love going to. You can go up there for a bit, play a game of pool, come down, watch a show. It'll be good times.
Yes.
Don't miss out on that. Quietly Kept doesn't have anything coming up yet until the month of May, and not even early May. Actually, this week I will be, this isn't going to come out in time, but I will be performing, or I already will have performed at Tractor Wells Park songwriter competition or whatever it is. Just going to play some tunes that I've written.
Nice.
And it'll be fun. And there's beers and good people, and why not go down there?
When is that? I wasn't paying attention.
That's coming up on Wednesday, so that's the day after tomorrow, which they'll already have heard this podcast by the time I've performed. So I had a good time. It was great, and I won. Thank you.
Nice. LokiSapfoot.com. Still nothing there, but I did start putting something together to put up there.
Yeah.
So theoretically, there'll be a shitty, like, out-of-the-box Squarespace style website.
Sweet.
But at least it'll exist.
We should just shoot a music video, and then you can just put it up there, and that'll be, like, the thing that's there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to actually have... Right now, the only thing that's on it is... the widget from SoundCloud, so you'll be able to download the album from the site through SoundCloud, which will be cool.
That is cool.
And I'll have artwork on there eventually. Right now, there's nothing, but soon you'll see all of this come to life. LokiSapfoot.com.
It's on the way.
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say.
Sweet deal. Wow. Shit, man. It's a good episode. Stick around. You'll be hearing Bobby, Kevin, and Amanda talking with us, talking with each other, talking about history, music scene, nonsense, fun stuff, good times. Keep it.
We're going to play a song?
We are going to play a song by the Shoulder Voices. It's called Good Karma, because that's what we're looking for right now.
All right. Here it is, and then we'll talk to you with Bobby and Amanda and Kevin in a minute.
(7:57 p.m.)
When does
unevenly distributed. Usually
Thursday, Friday-ish.
So this will be this week?
Yeah.
Are we pretending it's Wednesday or something, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Because we usually say the name of the day.
We play it real loose.
Cool.
This is the most questions anyone's ever asked.
Yeah, so I'm only asking.
It's making me nervous.
I listened to a bunch of podcasts, so I was just trying to think of what would matter, or what might matter.
Plus, I like it.
Obviously, it doesn't.
I just got off work. I spent all day filing.
Ooh.
So what is this
Your
going to be
nails?
filed under?
You're filing your nails?
No, I wish. My nails are
Oh,
terrible.
were you filing a wall?
I went through the trouble
Back
to
wall
do
of a
this,
bank?
but not this.
You got to take a
it
break
looks
from all that filing and
bad.
do some filing.
Yeah.
Some filing.
Were you doing
Can you hear us since you don't have headphones
Yeah,
on?
I can hear you.
That's
still.
so weird.
Check.
Were you
Oh my
just
God.
doing
Check.
were you just doing racial
Check,
profiling the whole
check.
time?
No,
That's it?
No, filing.
Yeah, how does your audience feel about like real blatant
Like
racism?
We're cool with it.
Yeah.
We're into it.
All right.
Get
We've
out
had-
and open,
we've had-
I say.
Yeah, we're
We've
gonna,
had feminism and misogyny in the same episode.
How about,
Oh really?
How about
was it like
bands?
Equal opportunity.
was
how
it a
about bands-
mansplaining episode?
how about bands breaking up on air?
No, you guys want to do that?
Well,
Every-
if the racism comes up, then we have to
Oh, yeah.
break up on air
Well,
because
okay.
I have to say
Every
my
time
dignity.
Amanda
That's good.
says something, I'm gonna say, "Well, actually,
Well, actually.
Well, she doesn't have a microphone, so I guess that's a good
Oh,
start.
yeah, very good start for silencing the
Or
woman in the room."
headphones.
There you go. You can still hear.
I can't
And
hear
there
it.
you go. Huh?
Scratchy.
You can't-
Sorry, we've given you your second-class citizen card for the
There you
show.
go.
Yeah,
You have to be a little closer, maybe, or
Yeah.
speak really clear. Yeah. There
You
we
guys
go.
can
That's-
share like David Bowie and Mick
Yeah.
Jagger sharing a
Oh,
microphone.
I
You know?
Yeah.
love Mick Jagger.
It
And-
was
right?
wasn't
No,
until you said
don't.
that.
didn't they also share an
The
asshole?
lowest point in
You gotta
David
assume.
Bowie's
One of
career.
David Bowie's asshole.
That's not a good
right?
song. Dancing in the street.
No, it's
No.
it's
It's
hard-
real bad.
The original's like this, like barely that good. I love the oldies, and I can barely stand that song.
Yeah, the
that's
video
the
is
one?
what brings it
Oh
home.
yeah,
though.
and
rough.
then on Down on Top, that was
Can you hit that light switch?
Oh yeah,
says so much
Puts a
more.
mood
I would
in
not
it.
have
Ooh,
hated
there we
it.
go. There we go.
I would not have hated it without the video.
What
No.
do you think that was about? Money? Like what were they doing? What was the
Yeah,
point?
they were. That was
They were
a
like,
single
"We
to
can make
raise
some
money.
money."
for
Oh, it was for
World
famine.
hunger?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
well, we saw how well that
For
worked.
1980,
There's
yeah.
a bunch of fuckers still starving.
Famine's done. It's over.
Problem solved.
We
was-
solved world peace.
That was for Live Aid.
Yay.
When was
They
that,
won the
in
Nobel
80s?
Prize, right?
I think so. Yeah,
To be close.
Was
yeah.
that
they
in
were
the 80s?
just as legitimate
85.
as
85.
That's before I
1985.
was
That video
born.
came out.
Do the Russians
We need
know
our-
it's Christmas? Do you think their children
They didn't
know?
for a while because they couldn't like celebrate it openly, but I think they know now.
They're aware.
Because they were all Jehovah's
Uh-huh.
Witnesses, or
Yeah, I think the Russians in general were Jehovah Witnesses.
I don't think that's accurate, actually. I don't know.
What? No, they were straight up Catholic, right?
I think it's just
don't
word
know.
word
That
salad.
entire
Word
part of
I don't know
salad.
that.
I
They're
had
like
an argument
Orthodox,
with actually a few people in Poland because the new pope, or he was a new pope. This was years ago.
Was
Was
this the
Polish.
Nazi Pope?
Yeah, that was like a Hitler youth. He was Polish, and so that was a really big deal for them. And we argued about whether the Pope was more famous than Michael Jackson dying, like as an event. And they really think that the Pope becoming Pope was a bigger deal than Michael Jackson dying. Like that more people cared.
That's close.
Yeah.
It's close.
I mean, it'd be hard to like really figure out on what.
The thing is,
terms,
we'll always
but-
have another pope, but we might not have another Michael Jackson.
No,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
which was his argument to all those children.
yeah.
It's only gonna happen once, man.
It's only gonna happen.
We're just
once.
gonna keep electing popes, so that's gonna
Right.
we're gonna keep riding that train, so to speak,
That's right.
for some
Is
time
it a
to
train? Is it more of a trolley
A
situation?
Pope train.
Anyway.
Pope-mobile.
Riding that Pope mobile.
Riding that Pope mobile. So hey everybody, I'm Holiday Rob.
I'm Loki
And
Sapfoot.
today our guests multiple are. We'll start with Little Bobby.
I'm Little Bobby. Hello.
I'm Amanda. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Kevin.
So what's the roster of things? Well, I mean, right now we have pretty much Shoulder Voices representing right now, but I know you from Unit 7 Drain.
Yeah.
So that's how I know Little Bobby.
Kevin and I played in Unit 7 Drain together like 12, 13 years ago. This band's been going a little longer than that, and it was a side project for Unit 7 Drain for many years. After that band was like old yellered, I guess is the verb, Shoulder Voices became more of a full-time band. And Kevin started playing with us a couple years ago. Our drummer,
Yeah.
Ryan Scarata, has been playing with us for almost 5 years. Our drummer, Joe Buffalo, our guitar player, Joe Buffalo, joined us a few years ago. And now we also have two ladies newer into the mix, Mary Stockton on vocals and Amanda here She's starting to play keys.
Joe is he still your guitarist right now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's fantastic.
It's hilarious. His mom or his dad and my mom were like friends in college.
Oh,
Nice.
really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
His mom is
We
awesome.
love his mom. We just, boy, I
Yeah,
can't,
no, his
even, I
parents are
can't
cool.
say enough about his mother. Yeah.
Those guys kind of taught me guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, and just to be clear, Shoulder Voices became not a side project for Bobby, but I think everybody else thinks of it as a side project, right?
I don't know. It depends on the day of the
Yeah, I
week.
suppose so. The practice.
Depends on which way you're facing.
Yeah.
Whether it's a front or back or side.
So how'd you get
That
into
was
how'd you
dumb.
get into
I'm
this,
sorry.
Oh, that was
Amanda?
pretty good.
Thank
That
you.
was pretty good.
I moved in with Bobby after we were dating for a while, and then he like made me join, pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't even have to date him. I just had to fuck him.
If you're gonna
Pretty
live
much how it
under,
went.
That was pretty sweet.
if you're gonna
It's like-
live under my roof, you're gonna have to play keys
Yeah,
in the
you're playing
band.
this band.
That's
Yeah.
how this is
Pretty
gonna
much
go.
how it went, I
You're
think.
gonna have to contribute to some music around here. I'm sorry. Can't just have you loafing about.
Rob, we need to turn the master down.
The master?
We're peaking.
Oh, yeah.
Peeking all over the place.
Yeah.
It's better than puking, I guess.
I think so.
Maybe.
Check. That's probably better. Seems less spiky.
Less spiky.
Yeah.
Less
But I
dramatic.
think sort of on that same note about the band and members, like it's been a pretty fluid band, right? For the past 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
There have been a lot of members sort of coming and going.
For about 10 years, Clifford was our other original member. I don't know if you know him. The Musk. He plays in the GBs and
Oh, probably. Yeah.
yeah,
in
Phantom
a few
Lake.
bands,
He
yeah.
plays in several bands. He was our guitar player, bass player. He was our original drummer. He co-wrote a lot of the songs.
Did he play guitar,
For me-
bass, and drums all at the same time?
I'm sure at least once he did.
yeah,
pretty
at least
cool.
for one song.
Yeah,
for sure.
he'd get the guitar going on a loop and then play. Like I'm sure that happened at some
right,
point.
right.
Sweet.
But he retired a few years ago as a permanent member. Now he plays with us every once in a while, including our upcoming show at Sister, our Kickstarter rap show. He'll
Be there.
playing that one. He usually plays like my birthday parties or
He
our
basically
album releases.
subs in for me if I'm going to Europe or going to rehab. And that's like when he shows up and really
This band
lays it
sounds
down.
awesome.
Ryan's in Malibu again.
because we're that
Yeah,
our
right? Oh, that would be
machine
nice.
is that smoothly
Yeah.
ran.
Yeah.
That's how oiled we are.
Yeah, it depends on why I'm in rehab, depending on the person who subs for me. So if it's alcohol, it's one guy. If
It's like the bridge of
opiates,
the
it's another
Enterprise.
guy.
Like one guy checks out, and then you're like, "This guy up to the bridge," and then boom, you have
Next
somebody
man
that
up.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have somebody at the con right there.
That red shirt is done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like the red shirt in the band. I think.
for sure.
Yeah,
When people
Sure.
start dying, you're first.
yeah.
So you have an album though coming up finally, like
Yes,
with
sir.
with this long going side project that has now
Yes,
become
yes.
the main show.
Yeah.
So when we became the main show in 2010, we put an album out kind of about space. 2011, some politics, tripped out politics. 2012, an album about time travel called The Time Machine. Then at that point, we started writing this album in early 2012, late 2011, that like winter. And I could tell we were gonna take a while, so I put out a solo album after that. And several years went by, and we wrote these songs from in chronological order. Like each song on the album is basically the next one we wrote all the way through the end. So it's like an experience of like 2 years of those 2 years of like being in a band, and they're all autobiographical and
Yeah, I was reading about some of them are about bartenders.
some bartenders.
There's
and
there's
some
a lot of coming. I think a lot of giving head coming.
yeah, there's stuff like
There's that
that.
imagery for
I was
sure.
having some issues sexually at the time.
So is this
Yeah,
kind of
and
like
that comes through. In the
Oh yeah,
album
that
for
comes through for sure.
Is it kind of an autobiographical concept album? Is that what you?
Mhm.
The Diary of Little Bobby. in a
Definitely,
way?
definitely.
Yeah, it has that
And
feel for
interband relations is definitely part of it. People quitting and joining and quitting for different reasons, or
Or dying.
or whatever, dying. That's one of the reasons. And the bars, we do some call outs to some bands we like here in town, and a couple that we feel indifferent about, most of which have all broken up. So
Oh, it's not indifferent.
It's not.
I think it.
It's-
Yeah.
I think that's a nice way to say we
That was a
fucking
nice
hate
way.
them.
Yeah.
we just felt like there weren't any bands like having feuds, like old timey
That's
Right.
true.
feuds, and
Some beef,
so-
crosstown
Yeah,
beef.
and so we're doing it out of love for the most part. Like when maybe there's another band in town that like you feel like is ripping you off, or
it's really like
or
cornered.
if they're jerks or something like
Yeah.
that. But we're not so much as like saying those guys are jerks. That's not. But just for whatever reason, and you might maybe work it into a song. And if somebody did that about me, because there's a lot of people I've probably
I'd be
pissed
honored.
over 14 years. I've pissed off quite a few people, I'm sure, intentionally and unintentionally. And
Yeah.
I would be flattered. Yeah. Like,
When,
wow, it really affected you that much? You wrote
Right?
about
You're
it?
still bothered by that?
When we were in Batwings, Loki and I, we constantly would find stickers just like graffitied on like
People would
defaced
draw dicks on it,
Uh-huh.
and like the rat's mouth getting fucked. with the-
everywhere,
Uh,
everywhere, all the time.
At the Atomic Cantina, the Unit 7 drain stickers in the men's room kept getting taken down like consistently, and Harry noted the pattern. Our guitar
that
player
band
singer.
had some enemies.
Yeah, we had
for
lots
sure.
of enemies. Yeah, that band, whoever was that
Yeah.
band, and so he kept taking them down, he kept putting them up. And at some point during practice, he mentioned this. He's like, "This has been going on for like months or something." and I'm like, I don't know why he mentioned. He got this new sticker. He opened it up, and it says Unit 7's drain, and Unit 7 drain. Then it says, "Keep scratching, bitch. We can do this forever." And he made like
Made a sticker,
whatever a
yeah.
stack of those stickers is,
Yeah.
like 100 or 150 or something, and then we put those up for like a year and a half, and
Yeah.
that was his attitude.
Sticker war. for sure.
Awesome. Sticker wars. So how did you end up? I mean, are you native to Albuquerque?
No, I moved here shortly after college to get
Okay.
away from the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas
Yeah.
area. Yeah, too much heat, too many people. Plus, I needed to change. A lot of people do that. I've noticed people here that grow up here need to move away sometimes, or sometimes not. But this is a great place, so
That's how it is.
I bought a
everywhere.
house. Yeah,
Everyone
And
wants to move away
Mhm.
from where they're from.
Yeah.
you know.
I bought a house and have a band, and feel like I want to stay for a long time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So how'd you get in the music scene here? How did that start?
The girl I moved to Albuquerque with dumped me because I was like a 20-something-year-old jerk, and I had never been in a band really. I'd just made like music at home for many years, high school and college, just lots of tapes because that's how long ago this was.
Yeah.
And started a new job right after that breakup at a natural food grocery store here in town, which we'll rename
Unnamed.
nameless. Yeah. It was the joiner of Wild Oats and Whole Foods. You might know him as Holland Oats. Yeah.
Holland Oats.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that
good one.
chain. Is that a good one?
Well, it was a
I
little,
like
it was a
it.
little forced, but yeah.
I liked
We
it.
got
out of
there.
the way. Out of the way.
If you notice anything,
Okay.
we do terrible segues. As well.
Yeah.
So on my second day there, I met a guy, one of my best friends, Clifford. We just started talking music over dishes while we were doing dishes at this crappy deli at this food store, and we started talking about the Beach Boys. Now we both like the Beach Boys. Just randomly, I think the oldies channel was probably on, and we're like, that's weird. You don't just meet somebody every day while you're at your new job that likes that same band. And we started hanging out and making music, and immediately it was like, we should start a band. And that became Shoulder Voices in 2002.
When you got into Unit 7 Drain, didn't you answer like an ad?
Didn't
Harry
yeah.
post an ad
So
somewhere?
I was in this band that nobody knew about really for like a year and a half or so with Clifford having fun. and then I saw an ad at Natural Sound
Oh,
that
yeah,
said
Natural Sound, yeah.
Unit 7 Drain, keyboard player wanted, and had a phone number, and I randomly called because I'd seen them play once downtown.
Yeah.
And thought they were like pretty good, like not bad, like something I could like be into possibly. And I didn't know any of them, and didn't really know any of the bands that were like in the scene, because like I said, I was in this band that nobody knew, and we were like had done a few open mics like that sort of level.
Right.
And yeah, I answered an ad, and he asked if I knew how to play keyboards, and I said not really. Kind of. He's like, I said, I know which notes are which. I'm mostly a guitar player, but I'm not real good at it. And I've switched over to keyboard just to have something, but it was mostly single note stuff, whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah,
he was
and
like, oh, that's all we need, really, single notes. If you know which notes are which. And I was like, my band's done some stuff, so I played him some stuff, which is a little psychedelic for his taste, but you could tell I knew chords and I was learning chords very slowly. And he took a chance on me, so I became a keyboard player in this like fairly established band that was like a machine that put an album out every year and did that for like 7 years.
Like practice
and got
at the same
every
time,
week,
once a week,
sometimes twice a week, and
The regiment.
and did that for like almost 7 years, I think, and it was amazing. Lots of experience, like probably 400 or 500 shows, and we toured. And
and to be fair, you were horrible when you joined the band. I mean, just to be honest,
Kevin was there.
You did.
Kevin was there. He was the bass player.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I know that sounds like a joke, but you just fit in aesthetically. But
we've never like talked about this.
No, you were. You were bad.
But
Confession time with little Bobby and Kevin.
Did you think like, oh man, I don't know if this is gonna work? Was there ever that, or
well,
you're like,
of course, because you had really long hair. And you wore like a leather jacket over nothing. You're just like
I still had my heavy metal
pants,
hair. Yeah.
Shirtless with a leather jacket on, and we're all like, well.
And when I joined the band, shortly after, I cut my hair very dramatically and had keyboard hair. And it was a lot like what you have there. Yeah, and it's kind of what I'm
I knew
still
exactly
rocking.
what you meant when you said that. It's funny.
That's maybe the worst thing about sort of talking times 16 years ago is that both you and I have terrible hair now. We just can't. Like, it's all gone. But in 2004, we had real sweet hair. Like, that band had good hair.
Luscious locks.
Yeah. And I think you're pulling it off, and I just went the hat route. So that's it. Yeah.
And that is why I started wearing this hat. This is why.
That's a hell of
because
a
of
hat.
the thinning hair. Yeah. I saw we did a cable access spot in the very early days of the year, like our third performance after like some open mics.
Yeah.
And I saw the performance, and when I reached down to my guitar pedal and was like, like twisting on, I was like, oh no. So second show, next time I played,
rock and roll
hat.
vanity.
Introduce the hat. No, it's hard not to like notice things about yourself as you're like looking back on any video when you're performing. You're like, shit, I'm doing this in front of people.
And I was single, and I was like 27.
Yeah, in your
and
20s.
I'm like, I wanted to get,
and that was like a time where hair like in the music scene, you're talking about like the Strokes.
I didn't
you're talking
realize
about like Cursive, like all these bands that were popular that like hair was part of the gig. You had to have cool hair or you were never going to get a record deal.
This guy had dreads.
Yeah, I didn't know how important it was, and then I cut my hair, and then my band broke up.
Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
So I realized there was a direct correlation.
Totally. The power was in the dreads.
Yeah. We're back. Hey.
Hi.
You want some music?
Yep.
Well, we got more shoulder voices. Shoulder voices. This is actually a unfinished, unmastered release, so it's a
exclusive.
A problem with everything exclusive. This one is called "Baby on a Wire" by the Shoulder Voices. Peep it.
Always says please. She lives on her knees. She doesn't mean to tease, but baby wonders why. My lover's always crying. She just realized we're all paralyzed, and she wanted me to know. love. But then she says no. It's time for you to go. 'Cause he'll be coming soon. So you better make your move. And then you need to go. Well, baby needs to learn how bad it feels to burn. So set it on fire. Balance on wire. And when her foot slips, I try to get a grip, but he is around, so we don't make a sound. I kiss her on the lips and take her by the hip, and then we lay down, and then she turns around, and then we do it rough. Do-do-do-do. And then we do it rough. And then we'll see who's tough. My baby's so sad. She never had a dad. It's driving her mad. And now she's acting bad. She took her guitar. And then she took my heart. Said I've gotta go. And left behind her things. The shiny diamond rings. And when my anger burns, she said you need to learn. My love, I'm on my knees. I'm just trying to please. Our love is in the cards, yeah, written in the stars. He can tend a ball, but can he tend your heart? He can mix a drink, but does he make it late? I cannot comprehend why this all had to end. You found a new man, you're walking hand in hand, but did you have to quit the band?
So did Harry talk to you about, like, I don't know if this guy's gonna
Oh
work
yeah,
out?
we talked a lot about how you
for
were
like the
not
first
very good.
few months, or
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like really serious conversations, but
like the
like he
There were
would
the whole-
express a concern.
or the whole year and a half that you were still played, or the
it was
first few
early.
months?
It was early
Okay.
on. But to be fair, you know, he also would like take me aside every like 3 or 4 months and be like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, it's cool that you're like jumping around and doing a lot of stuff on stage, but you really need to hit the right notes. Like he would have, you know, he wanted the band to be good, and he would have those conversations. So, you know, and then
Yeah.
also he was a fucking dick, so he would say those things anyway.
He had those conversations with me several times.
Yeah. He would make suggestions like play the right notes.
You need to hit the right note.
Yeah. Hey, this is just a suggestion.
we're
You
supposed
can do
to-
whatever you want, but you should play the song.
We're supposed to
playing.
sound like we're playing the same thing together.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
And
what
you're
I've
like-
always found to be kind of highly overrated.
And,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and then I was like, but my
Nobody cares
hat.
about that. Yeah, and I think that's what sold him overall was your hat.
He told me to stop wearing the hat.
No, I know. We talked about that too. It was like, well, he's getting better. He's playing the right notes. Like he's really fitting in the band.
Still wearing that
And-
hat though.
But God, can we get him to wear a different hat? Like that's not working for us.
And it was the
We
same
did have
hat,
those
by the way.
conversations. No, I know.
This was
I recognize it.
2003. It was the same hat.
If I felt like I had more power and shoulder voices, I would have that conversation with you too. But I don't. I'm just happy that you don't ask about my hat.
What I always liked about Unit 7 Drain, though, was there seemed to be very distinct personalities that were part of it, though.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That always kind of makes a band or not, or at least interesting.
Yeah, you could either
Yeah.
be like that, or you could be like Mumford and Sons, or just like a group of people that have all lived in the same area doing what people in the same area do over generation after
Should
generation.
we look like we're from Liverpool circa 1970?
Yeah. It's a good look. And I would say that I think Shoulder Voices has a similar thing.
Yeah,
to
so
you
what's the
and Tough Drain now,
philosophy
right?
behind Shoulder Voices?
Clifford and I, our initial conversations were like he would say things like, I want to I want people to either like love us or hate us, but not just feel indifferent.
Indifferent, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
And I was like, wow. and then we had more talks, and we had a lot of talks where we both had said we wanted to incorporate like an Andy Kaufman
Yeah.
Oh my God.
mentality into the band, which we didn't exactly know how to do that, and we kind of worked with it. I don't know. I guess it ended up just turned into jokes, but eventually it. Like one time, one of our guitar players, I proposed to her in the middle of a song, but I didn't tell the other band members. And this was on tour in Texas in front of my famboom.
Yeah.
And I made a big deal of it, and then she said no.
Oh,
And this is like during the song, like while the backbeat's going, boom, 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 boom. And then we like played it off, and then finished the song, and then afterwards we like,
were you serious though?
no,
This was before I was-
because
that was my question.
Yeah, I.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping on your host.
But I
That's good.
duties.
That's
But I
good.
told her about it, like in the van or something,
So
when
she-
nobody else was on. I'm like, I should propose to you.
Okay, so
and
she
we
was
won't
in
tell
on it,
anybody.
yeah.
Yeah, only her and I were in on it. And then
Nice.
she said no and like shocked people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that, and we did that and then like we got back on tour and we did it here in town and we tried it again, and it wasn't quite as cool because the rest of the band wasn't as shocked.
Right.
Right.
But I don't know, and Kevin and I should just have this conversation right here
Oh,
on air
shit.
because I want to do more. I want to know.
Are you gonna propose to me or
no? I want to
fire
Oh,
me?
that'd be cute.
I want because Kevin has like a theater like training. I want to do like more
More
like
banter.
interactive stuff that's
Yeah.
thought out ahead, but it doesn't seem like it is, and especially if it messes with the audience, like
Yeah.
Kaufman
Yeah.
did lots of.
Well, and I think there's a quality to our current shows, whether it was really whether it was discussed sort of in the beginning of this like 16-year odyssey of this band. There's a weird, I think, aggression to the way that the members approach the audience. Not that it's like this physical aggression, but we're a weird band.
Not in a G.G. Allen sort of way.
Right. Not in like smashing beer bottles kind of way, and not even in a like
Keyboards.
we hate the audience by any means. But for a band that has like a bunch of stuffed animals and are wearing makeup and some in drag and has this like feminine quality to it and glitter and all of that, there's also like a real aggression in the way we talk to each other on stage. Almost. Sometimes I think that Bobby is mad at me or mad at the band in the middle of our set, and you very well might be. I don't know, but
Only once or
that
twice.
quality I like, and I think that gives our stage show a really interesting presence.
That's
for
only
sure.
happened once, maybe twice, and
you got
since
mad?
you've played with us the last few years, yeah.
I used to
two or
get
three.
mad at our
Yeah.
bass player all the time.
Yeah, see,
He just
so,
forget to play stuff.
So
He
it's
just
better
likes
than that.
checking out chicks.
So we're a lot better than that situation,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Play your bass.
Well, yeah, and I think it's just a quality to the overall performance.
True. Most of
that-
it's
that I
my
think is
issue.
cool. Yeah, no,
Always.
it's definitely your issue. Like whatever's
Always.
going on for you, I think comes out in that. But I think that
Usually
that
we're pretty
bodes
good
well
though.
for our live show.
We played
Yeah.
a few nights ago and it was really good. And Clifford, our longtime
definitely.
guitar player, was at the show,
Yeah.
just in the crowd, and he knows the band better than anybody. Basically,
Yeah.
that's not the current six of us. And later he was like, "That was really good," and he's like one of my best friends, and I knew he wasn't.
Right,
you
he
know,
wasn't gonna lie about
bullshit,
that.
and he was like,
Aw, that was
and
good.
he said tight, and that's coming
that's
from a
tight.
musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
always the best.
Yeah.
So when I've seen you guys, it reminds me of what I try to do to get rid of the hiccups.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is a good
I
description.
wish that's
It's
a
like-
quote. We're gonna print that
It's
one.
like what I
It's-
try to do to get rid of herpes.
It's like chaos
Wow.
that's as chaotic as possible and just like held together enough to be a thing that's entertaining. Is that
Have you seen us in the last year or two? Because we've gotten a
Yeah.
little less chaotic with this new
Depends on
album.
the show,
yeah.
for sure.
I have
The first decade or so, we were like really chaotic, and that's kind of what Clifford meant because he was like, "You guys have like really gotten."
You guys went from
Yeah.
butthole surfers
We used
to
exactly. We used to do a lot more of like free form. We're like, wow, and I obviously wasn't very good as a keyboard
I think
player.
the-
We all just heard.
the
So
chaos,
those were the days.
The chaos vibe is still there. The aesthetic
So the
of
energy.
chaos, the energy.
Awesome.
But the music is much more streamlined. And
Yeah, and I
tight.
think
Yeah.
We've worked a lot more on backup vocals being really clear and clean, and sort of playing the songs the same way, unless there's sections where we're going to do something different. But I've been in the band for 2 years now, and I heard Bobby's first like Shoulder Voices record, and I was like,
And I still play with him.
yeah, that's sort of the moral of this story. I was like, oh God. And I just sort of ignored it for many years. And then I saw them before I was in the band. This was probably a few years before I was in the band. I saw Shoulder Voices play a show at Low Spirits, and I felt like I was watching the beginning of something. Like I really felt like here's this band, not polished at all, like fucking up for sure, but this was like what Bowie looked like before he like really got his shit together. There was something super, super special about what I saw, and I was like really intrigued by it and really excited. And I think I even told you that night, this is the beginning of something exciting.
That was a acoustic show. I think there were like 3 of us on stage.
No, it was a whole band.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a whole band. And and I was really into that. And then the show that I saw before I joined the band was like a huge mess. Horrible show. And I was definitely like, ugh, I don't know if I want to do this. But I did because I had believed that, there is something really special about the band and this collection of people, and what Bobby's doing and the things that Bobby cares about and the things he writes about, that sort of raw quality. There's a lot of sexuality to it that I'm really interested in.
Keeping the sexy in rock and roll.
Yeah, and almost a gross sexy too,
Which is really lacking, honestly, for a long time.
And then to have these like really pretty melodies at times, and these like shorter pop songs that come between these longer sort of gritty songs, and that's really interesting to me to be playing and to be a part of, because I still think that we have that quality of like, this is growing into something, or this could be something. It'd be awesome if we did become something, but to be at that place where we're like,
we are
going to be
something.
What do you mean by something?
Yeah, we are something.
Yeah,
What's a something?
We're definitely something.
You're a thing.
Yeah, we are a thing. There's this quality to potential. So you see a lot of bands where you feel like, yeah, they're good, and that's all. What they're doing now is all they will probably ever be, right? And maybe this is just coming from my own like instant judgmental personality. But you can see a band that's maybe like singing about a beverage or juice or whatever, and you're like, yeah, that's a good song, and that's probably the best song they'll ever write, and that's probably the only song they'll ever play forever.
Capri Sun, you got the best of them.
That's right. Yeah. And I feel like we just haven't hit our juice yet.
That's good.
Is that a good
I like
metaphor?
That. No,
Yeah,
that's good.
That like we're growing, we're getting better, we're writing smarter songs. And,
This one's
we
like
still haven't hit that point.
This one's
of
like
where
a
we're
slow
like
burn, like
Yeah.
good mushrooms or acid. Where you're like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was pretty bunk shit, and then all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
colors.
Like one of
Right.
those candles that's a skull and it's white, but then when you burn it, it's all psychedelic rainbow glitter. That's what
Yes.
this band is
Yeah.
like.
Yes.
And it burns down real slow, and you're left with just a puddle of.
So for our uninitiated listeners, what's part of the live show is the stuffed animals.
Yeah.
You've got your
We have them here.
shoulder voices on right now, and you've got a couple
Tell
of
us about them.
stuffed animals. Yeah.
They're really dirty. They smell like kind of
not-
like urine.
They're
in
not
the bar.
all. Oh, come on. We're trying to sell them. Don't forget that. They're $5.
They're $5.
You wanna
They're
buy
not
a
really
They're
dirty.
covered in
Hey,
blood.
that might help.
They're
depending on
dirty.
your clientele.
And they're
Yeah.
a really big pain in the ass to haul to shows and back home and to the van.
And now you know the
back.
truth, America. Albuquerque.
But I feel like there's more of a mystical value to them outside of
art isn't easy, you know. You gotta
Right?
carry
That's
stuff
right.
sometimes.
A lot of carrying stuff back and forth.
Just tell. I'm with the what is the art collective, not collective, but the government art thing that they're always trying to defund all the time.
NEA.
Yeah. I'm with the NEA. Why should I care about your stuffed animals in your live show?
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm
I'm
asking
with
for
the
the arts.
NSA, and I already know your social security number.
Everybody knows
Here's your
that.
credit report.
Oh shit.
Okay. Wait, what was your question? Why the stuffed animals?
Yeah, well, I know there's kind of like, I mean, you know, just a fun artistic philosophy behind them.
I just want to make sure I answer the question.
Not
you
to
asked
get
and just-
like too pretentious about it, but I mean, we do
Why-
stuff on stage because you know.
His question was basically, how do you justify this to the
right.
snobby art community?
The way I justified it the other night, because sometimes like this is the first time I'm going to answer this question, like why I justify it now, because usually when I get this question I'm just thinking about it while you're asking me.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, the stuffed animals, wow, how'd that come about? And then I tell the story of like how we got the first one and the second one, and then we like started to put them on the stage and yada yada yada, and now we got to now. But the reason
let's
why
go deeper to a
yeah,
more
the reason
emotional place.
the reason why I justify it now, because I have to justify it to myself every time, and that's been like at least 500 times.
And no one in
now.
the band helps him carry except Amanda. Just to be
I
clear,
carry a
like
lot of
no
stuffed animals.
nobody.
No
gives
one.
Which
a
is, of
fuck.
course, the
High
real
heels.
reason he wanted you to be in the band.
Yeah,
I
for
think.
sure.
I told him that because he just wants me to haul shit around like a mule.
He's like, she looks like she's got strong
She
shoulders.
looks strong and sturdy. She can haul some
I think
stuff.
that is when he first met you. He was like, "I met this girl that looks like a mule. And she's gonna."
I
be
checked her
great."
lower back. It looks strong.
That's right.
I checked her butt and there was cocaine in it. Wait, isn't that a mule? Wait,
That's a
what are we
winner.
talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of mule are we referencing here?
Yeah. Just for the record, I
That
do
was
not
good
use
wordplay.
cocaine and cannot stand it.
Yeah, and I can't anymore. so.
You know, I think I've said this on the podcast before, but I kind of like hanging out with people who are on cocaine. I've never done it, and I have no interest
For short.
for a while.
Time it,
and
yeah.
then it wears off,
gets
and then they
old.
get weird, and they need more just
Yeah,
to
oh,
keep
yeah.
talking.
Because they're pretty sure they can do anything. They're
Yeah.
like, dude,
Right.
you seen the fucking pyramids? I can build one of those. Let's go do that shit
That's
now.
right, because
Yeah.
they also like the same time that you like being around them. They like being that way.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it wears off,
Right.
nobody in the
They don't want to be
situation-
around themselves
Exactly.
at that point.
Right? They're just like, is there some way I can crawl out of my skin or get more coke? I don't
I
care.
just lost
which.
my purpose.
And that's why the key is just to hang out with people who do coke, because then you can just leave and go get tacos, and you're good.
or just don't stop doing cocaine, and you never hit that point where.
Well,
Until you just hit zero where you just pass
Yeah.
out and then you're like, oh, where am I?
unless you're Rick James, that's not really an option.
yeah,
You know?
Even the best of them have had to stop doing cocaine at some point.
Even the best of them. So what are some of your extracurricular activities? I know this is like boring formal, but I know you write for
I
Pyrograph.
don't think no, not to
He also didn't answer the
not
question.
to diss Pyrograph.
He was
yeah, but I
about
was
to
just
cry.
like, I didn't, so I never answered why the stuffed
Oh,
animal
oh.
song.
Go back to it. Well, I don't think
I
they
don't
want to
think-
hear it now.
Yeah.
I think they do.
So Pyrograph is run by Miss Perry
Okay.
Pacru. That's why sometimes I used to, when I first met her, I thought she was saying her like Perrygraph.
I want you to write for my
What's in this wheat beer you gave me?
spices. Not
Okay.
spice.
The stuffed animals. The stuffed animals.
Melange.
Like,
So I justify
melange,
justify
yeah.
the stuffed animals
Love that stuff.
by feeling like if I don't do it, almost like I've done it for like carried these stuffed animals around for like 8-9 years, however long, because they weren't there at the beginning of the band, but all these years for no reason. If I don't keep doing it, it's like that expression: you can't go this far and then not keep going further.
So they're kind of just the ball and chain.
See, that's one reason also why I don't use cocaine, because that mentality will
Right,
just
that's
like,
not a
yeah,
good way to
No.
behave,
How am I supposed to have fun without coke?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this.
So I
need
wanted
these stuffed animals to play.
Yeah, so right now our new album is called The Stuffed Animal Band. So
Yes,
that's
we have to.
So
for that.
like
All
there's
the
a
images.
there's a title song called Stuffed Animal Band. It's the closest we've ever gotten to a theme song. And
It's
I think
it's similar to a song about juice.
it is.
Yeah.
It's really yeah. It's like
Juice the
just like stuffed animals and
juice the
Right.
fruit nectar, right?
Like
not
that-
the,
Yeah,
No,
not the
about
plural,
like
not the
drink-
plural of
No,
Jewish
you would
people,
think
the chosen
if you're like
people.
writing a song about juice that maybe you'd use it as a metaphor or some kind of reference to like something
Juice is
bigger than
pretty
that.
good.
But actually, it could just be a song about
Kevin's
juice
blood
and
sugar is
beverages.
low, so he's
That's
like
right.
fixated on this.
He needs some
I
juice.
get really into it.
So
I
the-
just don't want anyone listening to not understand how much I'm underlining the idea of writing and singing a song about juice. That's all. That's
Okay.
I really wish I knew
So,
what you were referencing.
Somebody will.
Extracurricular
Yeah.
activities. Well, I used to run marathons.
Nice.
Wait, what was your question?
Something about
I used to do that for like 10 years because I was like in a band and I was single for a long time. So
Yeah.
I just had a lot of time on my hands. In
You
between.
also didn't masturbate or have sex, right?
I
During
did
that
that
same
for
So you
a couple
time.
times.
had to do something with that frustration.
Yeah, I did
Wow.
that. So that's when I started this album. I was in that mindset, and I was like,
How
I
long
wasn't
did you go?
joking around when I said I was having sexual issues when I began this record. Not as much when we finished it, and that was a couple years ago. It
Oh,
took
I
us like
think
2
Amanda would say you're still
Yeah.
having sexual issues.
Yeah, but not as
think she'd
much.
agree.
Or
No,
she,
a different kind.
She would, yeah, exactly. She wouldn't be dating me if I was me in 2011.
She's like, for some reason, he needs to
Yeah.
dress up like a pirate. I don't know what that's
Yeah.
about.
So here's the
I
answer
write
to
a
the
lot.
stuffed animals.
I
Actually,
write a lot. I do write for Pyrograph. I
Yeah.
was asked to do an advice column because she liked my writings from Facebook. So I do an advice column,
Yeah.
a weekly advice column called Dear Little Bobby. And you can find that on Twitter as I'm on Twitter. The column's on Pyrograph.
what's your
and the-
Twitter handle?
at Dear Little Bobby. And then also at Shoulder Voices. That's been inactive for a long time, but Amanda here and I have been resurrecting it, mostly Amanda.
We have 51 followers, so
Hey, nice.
51,
we're kind of a big
Join
deal.
us.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
Sweet.
You're doing better than the United States of America.
Right?
There you go.
They
They
only
would
have
just
50.
Give it up to Puerto
Unless
Rico.
you count Puerto Rico and Guam
That was good.
and the Virgin.
No.
And I never
Virgin
do.
Islands.
No, I
We
only
count
count
them.
them
We
when
just-
I'm buying clothing.
I count them, but I
Real
don't.
cheap.
Apparently, we don't count their votes.
Right?
Do we still
High
count
five.
votes?
Yeah.
Is that-
Count, yeah.
I
They
didn't
don't
know-
get to
I
vote
didn't-
for president, which is
I didn't know
fucked
we were
up.
counting votes. They're trying to get us to buy their, what is it, $73 billion debt.
Who's that?
Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's a
currently.
huge
Buy
debt.
that for
That's a
$1.
huge debt.
Us? I didn't even know I was involved in
Are
that.
Well, they're
they,
trying
but
to-
isn't it their debt to us, pretty much, right?
I'm pretty.
Like,
Yeah,
who
I'm
else
pretty
Who
sure.
else is giving them money
Right. I don't know.
besides us? Yeah,
I didn't.
don't
I didn't
know.
read
should
the
not
article. I
speak
just
to it.
scan headlines.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
That's how I
idea.
keep informed. I'm like
Yeah.
headline. Oh,
Headline.
comic book movie.
There's been a lot of that.
The important shit.
Yeah.
Amanda here, extracurricular activities. She teaches yoga and helps run a yoga studio.
All right.
Do 3B yoga here in town. It's awesome. You should check it out.
What nights? What nights are you teaching? Or
I'm
days?
pretty much there every day.
Nice.
I'm there a lot.
Traditional Indian yoga. It's nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
None of this new age hot yoga stuff.
We cook a lot.
Fuck
She
that.
cooks a lot of vegan food. That's another hobby.
And
Yeah.
we have 4 dogs.
4 dogs.
That's like a hobby. That keeps us busy.
What kind of dogs are there?
2 big ones, like big mutts, pit bull, really large ones, lab mixes, and then 2 teeny tiny chihuahuas that are like
They're
50.
like opposites.
Yeah, the 15-pound
Big ones and the
varieties.
little ones get along. They're friends.
For the most part.
Pretty much, yeah.
You never
We're a
worry
blended
about the little
family.
ones.
Yeah, we've had some issues. We're a blended dog family, but we've, I think, for the most part, figured it out.
Was that like 5 dogs? 4 dogs?
4 dogs. We each had
Four
2.
dogs.
2 humans. We each had 2 when we met. So often there's 6 creatures in the queen size bed.
And a good, 35, 40 stuffed animals in the corner. Yeah.
I was afraid you were going to mention something else.
No, a good 30, 45-year-old woman.
Yo, it's Loki Sapfoot. The name of this next song is Time Traveler by Shoulder Voices. We'll talk to you more in a second. Peace out.
Just for now.
To understand what this means to us, we have to travel right back in time to the man in the street. What does this mean? Well, this man has the answer. On the street, just another face in the crowd. He's carrying details of an extraordinary discovery. He's about to reveal the first images of the earliest parts of the universe.
So it's like a slice through time.
Space and time, they're relative to this human life. you love.
Takes you back, takes you back, takes you back.
You're a time traveler.
2:18 p.m.
So you're planning a tour? Tour's coming up?
Yeah, so
that's kind of the aim, kind of the goal of the Kickstarter?
Kickstarter's going
Yeah.
right now. Finish that in a few weeks. Play at Sister the middle of May. That's Friday the 13th of May. And then the album will come out maybe 2 or so months later. The early release, like for people that back the Kickstarter, get the digital release and the CD. And then we're looking probably August to put the release out, like have a show and do that. And right around then have a tour, maybe a week or two up to Texas, maybe the Midwest.
How fun.
Yeah, and Bobby has a connection with Mark Mallman, who's a musician out of the Twin Cities, out of St. Paul, Minneapolis. Amazing musician. He comes through here a lot. I'm not sure how many of your listeners know who he is, but check him out. He's really good. He's
What's his
connected
name?
with
How do you
Mallman,
spell it?
Mallman. But he's really connected with Craig Finn from the Hold Steady because they knew each other when
So that
Craig
mall
Finn
in
was
Minnesota is named after him?
Basically,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
the mall man.
cool.
Mark
It's
Mall
probably
of America.
He
man.
has a lot of like shiny leather jackets, and one of them says Mr.
Yeah.
Serious, like a graffitied on the back. Another
He's
one
a-
probably
he's a
says the
great
mall
showman.
man.
He has kicks you
Really?
don't want
Yeah.
to scuff.
He's on.
That's
He's
right.
on our new album. He's just put a new album out himself, also on via Kickstarter a few months ago, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, hopefully we'll play shows with him in the Twin Cities, things like that.
So what are your favorite I mean, obviously you've played here for a long time. You've seen venues come and go. I mean, we were talking about Atomic earlier.
Yeah.
Burt's is moving currently.
That'll be interesting.
Downtown is kind of it. You know, there were things like the Crawl, like the Alibi Crawl. You remember those?
Oh, yeah,
that
that
was
was a long
amazing.
time
Those
ago.
were so
They
good.
were great. Yeah. Everyone.
And
yeah.
then
All the venues.
It's kind of like
opened up.
shrunk a little bit now.
Mhm.
But where do you like to play? Who do you like to play for? You guys were just at Low Spirits recently, right?
Yeah,
Last week.
couple nights ago.
Yeah, Low Spirits is really fun. It's always a good crowd. And it's not downtown, so it's a little different vibe. But Sister Bar we like playing at. We
Yeah,
usually
that's
have a
a good
really
one.
good turnout.
Burt's.
Yeah, Burt's
and
is
the
always
new
fun.
Burt's. Hopefully,
The-
the new Burt's is awesome.
Yeah, the sound quality at Low Spirits, of course, Launchpad is like always great to play.
Right.
Burt's, the sound quality is maybe not exactly why you would go to see a show there, but it's usually a good crowd. It's usually really fun. We played that venue, that new all ages venue, the Co-op
Yeah.
downtown, which is actually a great room. Have you guys been there?
Yeah, we have.
We played there when it was
did you?
amped.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It's a really cool room, and the sound when we played was also really good. But that might have been because it really bounced around the rooms without, so many bodies in there blocking the sound.
that kind of happens good. That's like a good result of playing
That's
psychedelic
right.
rock.
The next
Yeah.
reason for the stuffed
Yeah.
animals
Yeah, it fills
sounds
the
better
space.
than empty
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah, but that was a
We're all
cool
ages
venue.
venues.
Yeah, and I moved to Albuquerque when I was 19, and there was a place called Insomnia that was around
I
here.
Yeah, it's
remember
a
that
coffee
place.
house. Insomnia Coffee
and
House.
so I would play little acoustic shows there all the time, and that was a great place. Even if you had a full band, just like cramped into that back room.
Right.
So I think any all ages venue is super cool.
That's kind of what
the music scene is really.
we're kind of missing that right now. There was
Yeah.
there were a couple of different Thread Space was one.
Well, Blue Dragon, you could play a show
yeah,
at.
Blue Dragon, like just these little small all ages, not really appropriate for full band, but still
Yeah.
having full band.
Could do stuff.
I
yeah.
guess the house shows of kind of like Raptor House
Yeah.
and Gold House and
Yeah, and we play which one? Raptor House?
Raptor
That was a really fun show. And those kids were into it. That's the cool thing about at least the house show we played.
Yeah.
Because I haven't gone to a lot. I think I'm too old for that. Yeah, that's probably why I
Yeah,
don't hear
that's
about
the
it.
first one we played in a couple
I was
years.
like,
and
yeah,
it was really good.
let's go to a show where there's a bunch of like 16-year-olds drunk and high. That's where I, as a 35-year-old
You end up going to
man, want to be
jail
on a
being
Tuesday
there.
night.
Just being
you know?
there.
Aren't you
But-
the responsible adult, sir?
yeah. But
Yeah,
if
but it's a
I'm going
Tuesday.
to find a 15-year-old girlfriend, it's only going to be at a place like that. So, but that
Clearly.
venue was really good. It was really fun, right? The kids were into it. They wanted to buy CDs after, and to get that youth excitement is super cool. That's
Right,
really
right.
fun.
Mhm.
And
That's
I
what
think
it's all
our
about.
sound
It is, yeah.
fun for people that are not old like we are.
Well, that's kind of the thing. For a while, I was hanging out with the Goathead Collective. I was just kind of documenting what they were doing, seeing
cool.
who they were bringing in, and kind of hanging out with that group. And that was really interesting because it was the first time in a while that I had seen just kind of like a grassroots punk rock. I mean, it was all acoustic punk rock, but it was still very much like we support bands, we set them up with shows, we make sure that people come out, you know, we have local openers, and we still do like street music, and it was very like bare bones. And of course it imploded or exploded, I'm not sure which, but you know, as any group of, you know, people with
DIY collective
with a tenuous you know, connection but that's like being in a band. I mean, it's like being married, you know. That's what we always say. It's like it's a marriage.
4 people.
Yeah. Try and
It's
make
rough.
things work.
But we need
something.
more of that, I think. You know, the whole record label thing has gone to shit. It doesn't have bands don't get signed anymore, right? So how do we look at the way that bands play at the, you know, playing the bars, and you get your like 10% or your like $75? Like, that is not a model that works, or maybe has ever worked at the sort of local level, right?
Right.
Like, we used to play the bars over and over again until someone came to town and signed us and took us out of that.
Yeah.
They're not coming anymore. So what are we going to do instead of playing the bars every night? You know, we've decided to play the bars every night, but I think that there's another way, right? People must be doing something else to sort of get out.
Well, you got the
Online,
Kickstarter happening.
yeah.
Famous
for sure.
YouTube
Yeah.
stars.
YouTube
stars.
yeah.
Vine.
Yeah, it's basically online fame or fortune
Right,
or whatever.
but that's not about
I'm just gonna go with what we're trying to do, which is just connecting the music scene,
Yeah.
making it more
Well, that's cool.
cohesive and getting
For
it
sure.
together.
I've
Yes.
come to see success more on a localized level.
Yes.
On if something is well received, and if the people who do hear it enjoy it, then that's
It's
enough.
just it's
for
just
now.
like
Yeah.
food
I mean-
needs to go. Like the more local, the better. That's
Right.
the better for the community. and
right.
you know,
You might not be able to live
or the
off that,
economy,
but-
you
Right.
know,
the
Yeah.
economy.
shop
and-
local.
Yeah, go out and support bands.
But
'cause-
come on, I mean, you guys are in bands. You write music. Like, you want more than that, right?
Always.
And
You always do.
I don't. I mean,
I might be justifying my failure.
there you go. That's
my philosophy.
right, because you can't
No.
you
That's a
can't
possibility.
like feed.
Yeah, but
You can't
It's a
feed your
mixture.
ego
This-
on local success.
Kind
right?
of, though, because
I want more than
one
that.
of the moments where I would have thought that I've made it, where I felt like, okay, I've made it, is we played a show at the Co-op, which was Amped at the time. The sound system went out, so all the vocals went out. We could still play, and everybody was like
Right.
singing the lyrics back
well,
to
that's
us, and that was
cool.
just like,
That's super.
okay, cool. I'll go
Yeah.
with that.
That was
if
the
I,
moment.
If I
Yeah,
never
no,
get
that's
like
super
Wow.
cool.
To
yeah.
me, that beat throwing bottles of Dom Perignon off the balcony.
And
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And it probably
To me,
made
yeah.
your ramen taste better that night.
It
right?
did.
Like,
Definitely
yeah, it really
did.
Not that it's about money, right?
it was seasoned with happiness.
Yeah. No, and I get that, and I think that's cool, and I think, I mean, you know, I'm not in this band because I think that it's going to be this, you know, huge famous band.
he's in
Although
this
it
band.
should.
He's in this band
Right.
because I didn't want
Right.
to be the most sarcastic person in the
That's
band
right,
anymore.
Yeah.
So
needed
now
help.
I'm not.
I needed help carrying that. It was heavy.
No, I just decided to be nicer.
Yeah, he gets to be nicer now. But really, like, having been in a band 12 years ago that was pretty successful and played showcases for Warner and Sub Pop back when labels were things, and
Right.
having been in an arts organization that toured the world and saw a lot of success, that way, like, I want a bigger audience, and maybe that's crazy to say.
I feel that.
I don't
feel
think
that
I don't
way.
think that's anything wrong with that. When I talk
Yeah.
about success, I'm always like the largest voice in the room.
That's
Right.
it. Like, I want to touch more people.
Right.
You know, and
Well,
and
them
however
singing
that
the
works.
words back to us is
Yeah,
a
that
small
for sure.
version of
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
No,
same-
dude, I would have had a huge boner over that.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. That would have been an awesome
If it had
moment
been
for sure.
40,000 people, that would have been
Right.
better.
It also would have been better if you weren't doing the sweater song, which, because of course everyone knows that one.
Right.
But,
Say it.
yeah. Yeah.
Doing that
so.
one, yeah.
Of course they were singing. it back
Everybody,
to you.
yeah, everybody's saying that one.
But yeah, totally. That's a great experience. That's something that you'll probably always remember. Unless
Probably. I
unless you
smoke a
get
lot
to
of
have,
pot.
yeah, that's something you'll probably remember until next week. That's how important it is.
Until Alzheimer's sets
Yeah.
in.
But obviously there are a
Exactly.
lot of bands that have leveraged the internet and YouTube and, you know, whatever, and have found huge followings.
And
by-
frankly, why
and
not?
doing
Why not?
podcasts
You
and
know?
and blog radio shows
Yep.
and things like that. So
I mean,
Yep.
That's what I wish.
Yep.
I wish for the success of Shoulder Voices is to be able to convey
Yeah.
the live show into some other format where
Yeah,
people can kind of
exactly.
see
You guys
it.
need an animated series.
Yes.
that's a good
Oh.
idea. Yeah,
That's
Or
what
even
I
just a
think.
puppet series.
I think-
Puppets
That's not a bad
puppets
idea.
are pretty. People love puppets.
I think we need to start with a podcast. That's one of the thoughts I've been having the last
like a competitive
this year.
podcast.
You don't want
Something
to just
that's
do your
really
version of
against you
Labyrinth.
guys.
We could just
No.
puppets and
But
and
like musical
songs.
theater, I could see us doing like a
musical would be amazing.
You should do a
Like-
musical
Yeah.
podcast,
like
an
for serious-
episodic.
There you go.
Yeah.
For real.
sweet.
Like
So
one of these
cool.
things. I'm not kidding. One
Can
of
I
these
be like an
things,
evil rapping villain?
now
a great
since
idea.
you asked, yes,
Hell yeah.
because we didn't have any characters.
Awesome.
Yeah,
have
now
that
I
one.
think you're the main character
Uh-huh.
right now.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm the lead antagonist.
Yeah, so one
as
of
it stands.
One of those things will happen. The new album, since you mentioned it, exactly that thing. The new album is like a recreation of a live show, so
Yeah.
that's different for us, and I think for most people.
trying to
Yeah.
capture that.
Mhm.
That's
Light-
the
lightning.
experience.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
and there's
Yeah.
some cuts of audience towards the end of songs.
Like-
And I think the way we recorded it, really recording it with all of us playing together live, and of course,
Who was it
gets
recorded
mixed
with?
and mastered, but
Carlos Jose Rafael Garcia did most of the
He's our
recording,
friend.
yeah, Youngsville.
mastering.
He's been,
not
on,
mastering.
he's been
he
on
did,
the show.
He did most of the
Friend of the
recording
show.
and mixing. We did
Yeah.
a couple songs on our own, and
He did holiday sales album too.
Sean McCullough's about to master it. It looks like Wes Naiman took some beautiful photos
he
for
did.
the
Awesome.
Nice.
artwork. All the lyrics are going to be printed out in the booklet.
Perfect.
Basically, it's
cool.
going to be a big deal. So you should
That's
It's-
right.
you should
it's
come
real
hang
big
out.
deal.
May 13th.
Our
at
biggest
Sister,
deal.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
and I won't be there, but Clifford will.
Uh-huh.
I also won't be in rehab.
Yeah,
thankfully.
exactly.
But I will be in
This
Europe,
time it's
so-
Europe.
Malibu
Yeah.
misses
Rehab.
you.
Yeah.
We're playing with Lila Rose and Jesse Deluxe, so
Nice.
that'll be a fantastic show. And the Kickstarter is going until that same weekend thereabouts, so that'll be our last push. And
If people want to look that up, what's the best way to get a hold of it? I mean, without the whole long thing.
Shoulder
Just-
Voices,
Shoulder
on
Voices.
Facebook.
Yeah, you can find it that way.
You could do Shoulder Voices Kickstarter. The Stuffed Animal Band is the name of the album and the project.
Just ask Professor Google.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
He knows
Yep.
a lot of shit.
He does.
Word
Yeah,
up.
and as a passionate plea, really, because people do donate to these Kickstarters a lot, right? And there's so many, so it's very easy to sort of ignore it. But dude, we will take $3 from you.
Yeah,
That's
we'll take
$3. If you're
Yeah.
on the grid with a bank account, dude, $3 that'd be sweet.
And right now you're
Please do that.
you're well over you're probably a 15th on the way there from having
Exactly.
checked it.
So
today.
$3 is the
Yeah.
smallest donation. What's the largest you'll accept? How
all,
big? Are you
all
willing to
dollars. The biggest one listed is $5,000,
Okay.
which is also the
Is that the
amount
limit,
of the
or
goal.
can I donate more than that?
You could donate
could,
more.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get the
But wait,
parameters.
because we
straight.
want to give everyone else a chance.
Since you're
first.
sitting next to him, would you get his credit card information before we go?
I've already swiped
you.
it.
You've got a cube,
So
right? Or a square.
forget the Kickstarter. Fuck it. We don't need your
We're
$3.
good.
We're
We're
good.
good.
I got this shit
Yeah.
covered. We're good.
That's the way we want to end this. Fuck you.
That is right.
We got the money.
I'm just kidding. I don't have any money, so
Oh,
y'all
shit.
have to donate.
We're all over.
$3.
It's a room full of artists. Nobody has any money.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
just for for $10, you can get a digital download of the album.
That's great.
For $15, you get
What
a
if
CD.
people aren't really
It's
into
a
the
good deal.
internet thing and they just want to show up to your show with
Then
an
they can do
envelope
that.
of
Then
cash?
they can do
Is
that.
that acceptable?
They can do
They're
that.
also
Okay.
not
And-
listening to you.
And if they do that,
That's a good point.
yeah.
and if anybody just shows up, the important thing is they're at a show, and so many people are not doing that because they're at home
Yeah.
watching celebrities dance with bugs and eat bugs and shit like that.
That's
for,
very important.
for money, or the
Some
new
guy's dating 30 women to see
yeah.
who's going to marry.
the new Survivor season is who can survive
my God,
in
dude.
Alabama.
Hey,
Is it really?
no.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Nobody
something
trans.
like
And
that.
they're all.
Dude, Debbie was.
That's where I was
Debbie
gonna
got
go.
booted.
She
2
got
weeks
booted
ago.
right away.
Yeah, no, not right away. She
The-
got booted 2 weeks ago.
Anyway, we got to wrap
challenge-
this
We're not
up
gonna talk
before
about
we get into
Survivor
Survivor. No.
This isn't a Survivor podcast.
Is that yeah? It's like when you hit the
We'll
ceiling.
sing "Eye of the Tiger."
Hey, I'll
but
plug.
that's about it.
My brother does a Survivor podcast called Snakes, Rats, and Goats.
I feel,
Yeah.
At the very, I just want to make sure I mention that I am an associate producer on a podcast about the music of Star Trek.
I didn't
if
know
anybody's-
podcasts had
Are you really?
associate producers.
Yes, they
That's
do.
awesome.
You
They
guys need
do.
one?
And so if any of you are into like music or Star Trek, it's called Melodic Treks,
Beautiful.
and
Cool.
it's cool
That's amazing.
I like
so,
it.
for the podcast world.
so any other things you want to plug? Shows or whatever else that's
Um,
coming up? I mean, we said May 13th.
Dear Little Bobby, the weekly column. Our
Okay.
album's coming out later this summer. The Kickstarter rap show is Friday the 13th at Sister. Hopefully a video will be in the near future for us, a release of that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It'll
guys?
happen.
We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so follow us there as well. We'll post all kinds of fun stuff.
Lots of stuff. Go to the Kickstarter. You can get a stuffed animal. You can get a bowling with the band, or
Then go roller skating with us, right?
Roller skating,
nice.
putt with the band.
Get glitter makeup.
That all
tutorials
sounds
with Bobby.
amazing.
You can get a
There are a lot
4-disc
of cool
box
things,
set
for
of
sure.
4 unreleased albums like we've had from our early days,
That's
Beautiful.
freaking
and our
sweet.
entire back catalog. That's like only $40 or $50, and you get the new
Nice.
CD, the shirt, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So if you have
Awesome.
more than $3, you can
yeah.
totally do
Or
that.
seriously, the album is going to be my favorite album we've done for sure. It's going to be really, really like heart wrenching and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's like been a goal of mine for a long time. man.
Perfect.
Exciting.
I feel like we achieved like 95% of what I heard in my head, and the last album was like 80%. And one before that was like 60% because there was a producer or whatever, and I was like, oh, so close to like
It's good.
perfection.
Yeah, perfection will never be achieved, and
Yeah,
that's
but-
fine because
but
that's
it's a
why it
good feeling.
exists. Yeah, the closer you get to it. Well, I'm Holiday Rob. I'd like to apologize to Amanda for not having headphones or microphones for her, and you've been
forgive
listening. You've been listening to The Problem with Everything.
I'm Loki Sapfoot.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Little Bobby, and these are our stuffed animals.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you
Hey,
next
thanks
week.
a lot, guys.
It was
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you guys.
Peace. Another one in the books, knocking it out of the park every goddamn time. Here's a song to end the show. It's by Shoulder Voices' exclusive stuffed animal band. Check it out. Peep the shit. Peace.
Yeah, there's a lot of bands in this town. Most of them make terrible sounds. There's 3 or 4 that I'd like to hear more. One of them pleases the floor. Have you heard of the red light cameras? Yeah, I really like them because I have a thing for their drummer. I just remembered she quit last summer. I am the man in the stuffed animal band. Come on out to my van, and then you'll understand the stuffed animal band. The stuffed animal band. The stuffed animal band. And then you'll understand the stuffed animal band. Yeah, I was angry because you thought that I was in Monster Calls. I got nothing against those guys, but I'd rather be in the border draw. And I felt sick, 'cause you asked if I was in glitter dick. Just between me and everybody, that guy has got a real small prick. Understand that I am the man in that stuffed animal band. Come on out to the van, and then you'll understand the stuffed said, please give me more rope. I couldn't do it, no, I just stared. And then she said, well, at least kick out the chair. I said, I don't understand. Does this mean you're quitting the band? She said, boy, this is life and death. And then she took her last breath. She was my friend, and now we are just men. It's the stuffed animal band. Come on out to our van. And then you'll be a fan. The stuffed animal band. The stuffed animal band. The stuffed animal band. And then you'll be a fan. The stuffed animal band. Just hanging out, man. Just hanging out, man. My dad always said the shortest way to a woman's soul is through a black hole. Through a black hole. Yeah, my dad always said the shortest way to a woman's soul is through a black hole. Through a black hole. Yeah, I cried, Dad. Always said the shortest way to a woman's soul in years. Through a black hole. Supermassive tears. Through a black hole. And years. Through a black hole. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer. Crazy, crazy. I wanted to marry you. I'm crazy. Just hanging out. Stuffed I said, okay, alright? Okay. I am the man in that stuffed animal band. Come on out to my van, and then you'll be the #1 fan. Stuffed animal band. The stuffed animal